So in the first reading from Acts, Jesus talks about, well, they not Jesus, it's Paul, but they go to Samaria. And the Samaritans, Samaria is not that far from Nazareth. It's kind of up in that area. Samaria, which they've always been in conflict with the Jews. They practice a similar faith as the Jews, but they worship at a different mountain. And the Jews have always reviled them. Anyway, the Samaritans hear the disciples, and they take right to the message. And they see what the disciples do, how they heal the sick, and what they do in the community, and they hear the words they're saying, and they accept them. And this is the ticket. This is the kind of thing that we're looking for. Jesus always saying, look at what I do, listen to what I say, and believe. And they do. And so they're kind of excited back in Jerusalem, and they decide to go back and lay hands on the people. In Acts, they'll talk about, a number of times, they'll talk about laying their hands on people. A couple weeks back, we had the disciples laying hands on 7 men to take care of handling the alms for the widows. And they were set aside by laying hands on them. And in that notion of laying hands, we do that particularly in the sacrament of healing, that we lay hands on someone. In some cases, often in absolution at confession, we'll hold our hands over someone's head. And in other cases, we'll hold our hands over in a form of blessing and in a form of consecration. When I became a priest, my hands were consecrated. They were set aside for the work of, particularly of the Eucharist and the other healing sacraments. And that's been a strong sign and a symbol. It's been used in Acts in a number of places. And when they set someone aside to do a special work, they laid hands on them. And that's, I then... Now, this is something that I was worried about with the virus and so forth, is holding the Eucharist, and am I transferring germs? Of course, I touch my face so often. The idea is also that my breath is on the Eucharist, the bread, as I consecrate it, because the Spirit is seen to be in the breath. And that was a very common understanding at the time of Jesus. And we still sort of have it as a metaphor, an idea that our spirit is in our breath. And so we had this idea of this touch, this intimacy, the movement of the Spirit as being something that's a very intimate act. When I put my hands on someone's head when I'm anointing them, I have a very special bond at that moment. And of course, this is a problem right now. This is kind of a central idea to our faith and our understanding of who we are as Christians. This idea of giving part of myself in the blessing and the consecration, and this idea of this intimate connection, because Christ's connection with us is intimate, and yet we're now in a time period where we're not supposed to touch each other. We're not supposed to get within 6 feet of each other. Which just kind of makes things odd and strange. And it causes us to have to kind of reconsider and to reevaluate and say, well, those are beautiful images. Those are beautiful images where we touch, we caress, we can put our hand on someone's shoulder to give them reassurance and security and those various things. Poor Joe Biden is being accused of doing that a little too much. But the idea that we have that intimate relationship in the sacraments. The bishops used to slap the candidates for, I don't know what that says about their relationship to the people, but anyway. This is a challenge for us today, and we're going to say, oh, but yes, I understand that, but we have to kind of somehow move beyond those things. We have to, if we say, well, we can't consecrate the bread and wine, we can't heal people, we can't, and this is the letter that we got from the cardinal, was that the sacraments must go on, and to the best of our ability, we still need to be baptizing people and confirming people. We have to do that within certain restrictions, but the work of the sacraments can't stop. We have to look beyond some of the symbols that we've become very attached to and are very powerful, that convey the love that's being transmitted, that's being conveyed in those sacraments. The sacraments are all about love. The sacraments are always about a movement of love from God to his people. And so we're in a difficult time when we have to say that in some other form, that you can see me from afar and believe that I love you, and I'm conveying God's love to you from a distance, from a separation. We have to kind of let our hearts jump those gaps between us right now, like spark plugs, because it's as important or more important right now that we do share the Spirit between us, that we do receive the Spirit in the sacraments, and that we do share it with one another, because it's important for us to keep the Spirit alive in the church and being able to support the work of the Spirit among us.